our next guest, Paula Messener. She is a rocker and a children's author who joins us now on the MegaCast. Paula, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So you have gone from being a rocker performing at Lollapalooza all the way to writing a children's book. And this is a very broad question to lead with, but how did that happen?
Well, you know, I write music for children, and first off, it's a joy to write music for kids because you can get it silly as you want. You don't have to sing about, you know, relationships and feelings and all that. You can write about pizza, and I have songs about ice cream and Simon Says and rock, paper, scissors. So my songs tend to be like short little stories, and I've always had it in the back of my mind, like, wouldn't it be neat to put out a book of my songs/stories? That's kind of what I call them. And so I finally just did it. The songs were written. I sought out an amazing illustrator, Marty Blackwell, who agreed to do it. And, you know, during the pandemic, it was the perfect time to make 6-string stories a reality.
Yeah, I was going to say, so glad you put that up because Paula did release, as she just showed, and for those of you listening on the radio, Paula's 6-String Stories released her first book this summer. So yeah, as you can see, that's on the screen right there, very colorful, full of these stories that with song that she has created for children. There's a little bit of an example for those of you that are watching on TV. For those of you watching on the radio, you'll be able to see this on demand at civiccentertv.com/megacast later on today. Very nice book, very colorful, great illustrations as well. When did you start working on this book?
Well, we started, we had our first meeting in October. I met with my illustrator and, you know, when she agreed to take it on. And so we just started formulating, you know, what we were going to put in it, what order. And, then she went to work for a long time. My part kind of was done. The only other thing that I had to really work on was I included the sheet music in the book. So I have a program that I had to type all that out on, and
okay.
I had never typed out my original music. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but I wanted to include the sheet music in there because I want to inspire people to pick up an instrument. And I think if you don't already play as a child and you see that sheet music in the back of the book, you're like, I want to do that, you know? So you can play any instrument and play the notes. So anyway, we started in about October, November, and it went back and forth, you know, her showing me various illustrations. Do I like this? What should we tweak on it? You know, how many lyrics should we put on each page? So it was like a lot of thought went into it. So she had the bulk of the work at that point. But then once it was kind of coming together, it was a lot of meeting together and figuring out how it was going to be laid out. So, and what little things we were going to add to it as well. Like there's a spot in the beginning where you can put your name in the book when you own one. And I think that's pretty cool. And there's also, I'm really excited about this. I did a page called Let's Pick Our Brain, and it's kind of like book discussion questions. And a lot of times you see book discussion questions in a book for adults, but not for kids. So each question relates to one of the songs/stories, and it's just kind of cute.
We're joined by Paula Messener. She is a rocker and a children's author. She recently released her first book over the summer, Miss Paula's 6-String Stories, which of course includes, as Paula said, the sheet music so that children and families that are interested in learning an instrument can play along with their new favorite songs and favorite stories from Miss Paula, and also some thought-provoking questions as well. You compared it to kind of being like questions provided for books that are commonly given to book clubs. What ultimately went into your decision to then include these kind of extra engagement activities for the children and their families in these books?
Well, I wanted it to be a really interactive. So not only can you read the book, you can play the book, you can talk about the book, and one more thing, there's also guitar picks hidden throughout the book.
Ooh.
Like, let me show you an example.
Don't give us the page, because then you're going to keep the mystery going. But
can you find a guitar pick in this picture?
Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. I see it. There you go. Bottom page. Yes.
And each page number is a guitar pick. So
Okay.
it's very interactive. And there's also a page of how you can download the song, so you can listen to it, you can read it, you can talk about it, you can play it, and there's like a seek and find in there. So it's very interactive, and it's very unusual. As I've been taking it to libraries, they're like, where do we file this? It's not really a story. It's kind of a picture book, but it's a music book. So I think it's very authentic and one of a kind, and I would love to put out 5 more. Don't tell my illustrator that. She'll be like,
Maybe let's take a couple of weeks, a few months here, and take a break before we re-illustrate a whole different book. Yeah, that's probably the reaction. We're joined by rocker and children's author Paula Messener. She is the author of the recently released over the summer Miss Paula's 6-String Stories, and she joins us today on the MegaCast. And you were quoted talking about the difference in the feeling for you releasing a book versus a 45 or a CD with your music on it, and how much different you enjoy having your material in book form. What is different for you having these stories and these songs provided to your audience through books instead of through more traditional means of distributing music?
well, it is, you can buy the music as well because
Yes.
it's on Spotify and all that. But I feel like a book is timeless. You know, when I was first started in music, we were putting out records. Then they kind of went away, but they're back. Yay.
Yeah.
You know, I've put out cassettes. Not a lot of people buying cassettes. No. Then CDs came along and you thought, oh my gosh, like these cassettes and albums, now we got to do it in CD format. And guess what? They don't even put CD players in cars anymore. So the way that people get their music is they download it. So I felt with the book, this is never going away. You know, there's Kindles and people do read book on Kindles, but something that you can hold is never going to go away and look at, especially as a parent. I mean, my kids are older now. You always wanted to teach them to read and look at a book. It's never going to go away. You would never give a kid a Kindle and say, here, read all these books. They like to hold it, the colors, your imagination can run wild. And I just felt that that was a smart move, and it's just not going to ever go out of style.
We're joined by,
you know, it's good on the table because
it does. It does. It gives a little bit of a pop to your coffee table there, having that out there. We're joined by Paula Messener, a rocker and a children's author, and the author of the recently released Miss Paula's 6-String Stories that we've been talking about throughout this interview. You can view the pages of the book and some of the sheet music that she's previewed here by going to our website, civiccentertv.com/megacast. And Paula, you came here strapped with a 6-string, with a guitar ready to play for us. And I know you got a song prepared. Would you like to play one for us?
Yes. I want to play my pizza song because I want it to be in your head all day. It's kind of catchy. So I love pizza. It's my death row meal, man.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I'm a pizza, you're a pizza, I'm a pizza pie with a crusty little smile and big pepperoni eyes. You're a pizza, I'm a pizza, you're a pizza too. To eat a cheesy little slice, there's nothing I won't do. Well, you can roll me in a circle, press me in a square, cover me with saucy sauce and comb my cheesy hair. Add a little pepper, top it off with ham. I love a lot of mushrooms in my pizza pan. I'm a pizza, you're a pizza, I'm a pizza pie. Crusty little smile and big pepperoni eyes. You're a pizza, I'm a pizza, you're a pizza too. To eat a cheesy little slice, there's nothing I won't do.
Very nice. That is Pizza Song from Paula Messener, rocker and children's author of Miss Paula's 6-String Stories. Now, is that included in the 6-String Stories?
Yes, and there's another verse too, so I didn't sing.
Give people a little bit of something to anticipate later. So you get that extra verse, you're going to have to learn more about Miss Paula's 6-string stories. You can learn more information and get a copy at MissPaulaMusic.com. And Paula, you also, on top of being a rocker and a children's author, you're also still performing this music at many different locations. You have shows coming up. Tell us a little bit about some of the places that you will be performing here in the next few weeks and next month or so around the local area.
I will be performing at the Huntington Woods, for the Huntington Woods Library at Scotia Park on October 7th at 6:30 p.m. I'm also playing October 24th at the Plymouth Council of the Arts, and my illustrator will be there with me. I'm also doing a book signing. Well, the cool thing is I can do, instead of a book reading, I do a book singing. And I'll be doing that at Leon and Lulu's on November 7th. I'm also at the Centerline Public Library on October 30th for a costume party. And so it's really cool because I can perform this at stores or libraries or toy stores. And so there's a lot of avenues where I can get the word out on this book, which I love. I'm very busy right now. Even being on this, it's just great.
Yeah, so many different outlets to perform today, whether it be an in-person event like she has in many libraries and other book reading locations coming up, including at the Sterling Heights Public Library, yes, where she'll be joined by the Trevor Lamb Duo. That is coming up on October 2nd from 2 to 3 p.m. She'll be doing a book reading with Sparky on October 5th at 7 o'clock at the Royal Oak Public Library. There will be a pajama book reading that will feature Miss Paula in Huntington Woods at their public library on October 7th at 6:30 p.m. at the Plymouth Council of Arts, 2 to 3 p.m. on October 24th. And then a little bit of a Halloween preview, a little last joy before things get spooky on October 29th at the Centerline Public Library at 6 p.m. Miss Paula will be performing as well. Put on your best Halloween costume and come dance before things get truly spooky here all over the place, especially down there in the spooky town of Centerline. We're joined by Paula Messener. She is a children's author and a rocker with us on the MegaCast. Paula, just a few more minutes with us today. Anything else that you would like people to know about your music, about your book, or anything else that you'd like to discuss today?
Well, if you would like to purchase my book, you can go to MissPaulaMusic.com and I will mail it right away. If you'd like it signed, I can even sign it for you. And my slogan for the month of October, because it's National Reading Month, is rock and read. So rock out and read, sing, get a book, sing it, and enjoy.
Yeah, but don't go too rockerish at the end there and go smashing the book around like Peter Townsend after you're done. These are books, protect it, and then because how else are you going to play Miss Paula's music, right?
Right. Well, it won't break though. You can drop.
It's a hardcover, so that helps. We're joined by Paula Messener. She is a rocker and children's author. And Paula, people often ask me, Tyler, what does it mean when you say that a musician and their music will play us out? What does it mean to play us out? Paula, do you have another song for us that you may be able to perform before we to play us out today?
I do.
Wonderful.
This one's last off. It's about an astronaut who goes to the moon every day for work, but he's home by dinner. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Blast off. Blast off. Blast off. Well, I get up in the morning 'cause I have to hit the road by noon. First I gotta eat my pancakes. My next stop is the moon. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Blast off. Blast off.
Our radio stations love live music, and sometimes we do it live. Paula Messener with us, rocker and children's author. We appreciate it. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.